Good evening, glad to have you with us here on the Toledo Sports Network. I'm Norm Waymer. We are at Tam O'Shanter today, and we are taking a look at the combines. These are high school combines, and we have obviously a lot of attention gets played to the pro days on the college level and the combines in Indianapolis. Well, this is a chance for a lot of people to take a look at some high school kids from all around the area. There's more than 200 high school kids from all across Northwest Ohio, Southeastern Michigan, and they're all here and they're all getting it on. We're going to talk to the participants, and we're going to talk to a lot of people today and get you a little insight on what's going on here with this high school combine at Tam O'Shanter. Don't go anywhere. We're joined now by Mike Robinson from 4th and Goal, who is also the brand new head football coach at Bowser. Congratulations on your event. We were talking to the gentleman from Scout.com who said he goes to events like this every weekend and called it an A event, and I think that's pretty high praise.
You know, and I give the praise to the volunteers and the staff here. You know, the guys that come here and help out. You know, it's phenomenal that they come here, put the time in, and the kids, they know what to do. They're here and ready to work. So it's just a smooth transition for us.
What was the inspiration to get this going in the first place?
Well, it all started just with an idea in college. I was sitting in my room and I said, there's nothing going on in the off season for these players in Toledo. And I said, and there's a lot of talent here. And so I said, well, let's start it up. So I sat down, wrote it down, and it took 2 years to map it out in my mind and get it out on paper. And then in 2010, we put it into inception.
And you told me off camera you started with 3 kids?
Yeah, it started with 3 kids. Those 3 kids.
There's well over 200 today.
It was the 3 kids that it was Charles Von Gaston, who's here today, who's a starting quarterback at Sky High School. Got him in the 8th grade. Marquise Moore and T1 James of Central Catholic.
Wow.
Those are 3 kids.
Wow. And talk a little bit about 4th and Goal before we get into more here about the combine.
4th and Goal, it's about helping kids. I mean, the whole point of 4th and Goal is it's a mentality. 4th and Goal is a mentality. As you know, it's offense versus defense. It's that goal line stand. It's that last play. Who wants it? You know, so we want to teach these guys that 4th and Goal mentality. We work with different sports, but we like the mentality. That's why we chose the name 4th and Goal. So anybody, you know, whatever sport you play, you got to have that mentality. Like every time you get out there, you line up, it's that moment. It's that moment.
Is it very individualized?
Yes, we do some individual stuff with athletes. So we do sports like soccer, tennis, hockey. Right now we work with a couple tennis players from St. John's, and we do soccer players as well. So we do a lot of group training and a lot of individual stuff as well.
So the training will differ depending on the sport.
Yes.
Even with football, I'm sure it'll depend on the position.
Yes. Saturday nights we have a weekly camp at the Pacesetters indoor facility. And what we do with that camp is it's 2 hours. It's 2 hours on Saturday night. We have different kids coming from Findlay, Fremont. So it's very similar to the event that you see today. But it's a good time.
It's a match. I mean, there's not a lot of places where kids can go for that kind of individual training, right?
No, there's nowhere else you can get this in the city. Nowhere else in I'd say 100-mile radius. The closest you can probably go is to Cleveland, where I'm from. We did something similar like this, but nowhere else in a 100-mile radius you'll find anything like it.
Now, did you get your state championship ring yet, or no?
I have the one from 2012. This Wednesday, we'll be getting the next one over there from Central Catholic.
Being the running backs coach from Central Catholic, and they had obviously some terrific running backs.
Oh man, it's phenomenal. It was my first year coaching running backs, and those guys eased me right in. So I don't take a lot of credit. I want to thank all those guys over there, man. Mike Warren, Trayvon Wade, and my fullbacks as well. They did a great job.
Well, now talk about Bowser.
It's new. It's new right now. It's a lot different than Central Catholic, trying to get a staff together and just trying to get my feet wet as a head coach and just, go through all the bumps and bruises and just kind of get kids riled up and ready for football.
The staff is You know, how much of that? 2/3 of it?
Oh man, I think that's 3/3 of it. You know, I got it's March. There's not a lot of guys available, so you know I'm just trying to do what I can to piece this thing together. Right now, if you ask me, my staff is probably averaging the age of 24.
Well, when you're coaching in the City League, there's some probably some extra challenges.
Yes. It's a lot different. It's definitely with the TPS system. They're doing better. They're doing great, but it's a lot different than the Catholic system where you have a little bit more freedom, a lot more procedures and processes you got to go through. That slows things down a little bit, but not too much.
You're going to start. You're not teaching over there, right?
No, I teach at Nexus Academy.
So you got to find assistants that can patrol the hallways and say, hey, you got to come out and play football.
Yeah, working on got one guy in the building. His name is Brett Cooling. He has a son that's actually a freshman football player at UT, and he's going to work on the freshman staff as a head coach and help get the thing together over there.
Because plain numbers are huge.
Yeah, numbers is big. My goal is to get 60 guys out on the team this year and hopefully bring in a nice crop of freshmen.
Now, for what you're doing out here today, not only is there more than 200 kids, there are some very, very talented kids that are here today.
Yes, it's a lot of high-profile guys, guys getting recruited by some of the best schools in the nation. And it's a lot of guys that's now getting looked at, that's going to get recruited because they came out here and performed. You know, it's just a big learning curve today. So you'll see a lot of guys out here who do really well. Some guys that don't do so well, but we still got 3 months to the summer.
Well, you got scout.com and rivals.com that are out here too, and that helps get these kids exposure. And when you see the level of talent out here, you got to feel like this event has arrived.
You know what? Our first year when we had it, we had 50-something kids here, and the following year, you know, you had guys like Deshaun Kaiser come out and really, you know, at that point in time, he was getting recruited by everybody in the nation, you know, and that helps. You know, when you have the top kids in the area come support, because it's not just about them. It's about when they come out, they bring the scouts out. When the scouts come out, they discover more talent. So it gives kids an opportunity when everybody works together in the community.
Well, we're going to put the mic on this guy and kind of give you a sense of what he's doing out there and the sights and sounds of what's going on here too. Mike, appreciate it very much.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right, Mike Robinson. All right, more coming up. Don't go anywhere. It's Toledo Sports Network, CW13.
Do your utility bills have you down? Get out from under those heavy bills with new windows from Dunright Building Services. New windows from Dunright can change the vision of your home both inside and out. And right now, for a limited time only, you can get any white double-hung standard window for only $179 each. Remember, for a job done right, you better call Dunright.
New home, same address. It starts with new windows. Call us at Dunright Building Services today.
Burger Bar 419. Our heart is good flipping burgers and sides. It's the quality, taste, and love put into everything we serve that sets us apart from the others. It's the comfort food we were brought up on with a fresh hip twist. Simple, fresh, and delicious offerings for everyone, meat eaters and vegetarians. Our soul is our support for local business. Our fresh beef is ground by the butcher 200 feet from our front door. Burger Bar 419. Good flippin' burgers.
Stop struggling with the big box stores. Choose Gladio.
Gladio Home Center. A hardware store, yet so much more. Your home improvement answer store. A place to design your interior space. A professional and friendly smiling face. Everything you need for your home. And Gladio is locally owned. You'll be glad to know Gladio Home Center.
Italian plumbers, steam fitters, and HVACR service mechanics of UA Local 50 build the powerhouses that generate your electricity. Install and service your heating and air conditioning systems and install the plumbing systems that protect the health of this nation. Everywhere there's a building being built, retrofitted, or maintained, members of UA Local 50 are on the job with skills and the latest sustainable building practices to do the job right. UA Local 50 plumbers, steam fitters, and service mechanics, building America's future.
Obviously, there's a lot of people here at the 4th and Goal Combine. I've been able to corral two guys that have been so instrumental here in high school football in Northwest Ohio. Pat Gucciardo Sr., Pat Gucciardo Jr., and we'll talk about everything. But you guys, you're watching your son here today too, right?
Yeah, it's a real interesting venue here. A lot of kids from Northwest Ohio and some from Southeastern Michigan. And to see them do some of the drills that they do at the college combines and things like that, very interesting, as a coach to watch some of the other athletes.
What's it like, Coach, to watch your grandson out here?
You know what, it's a brand new experience, that's for sure, after watching my sons. But what's impressive is there's a lot of great looking athletes here from all over Northwest. Like Pat said, I can't get over their size, I can't get over their speed and quickness. This is a great thing for us in this area.
Talk about this really in perspective of what you've seen over the years in high school football, to have an event like this for not only college coaches or scouting people or whatever, to take a look at some of these kids.
Well, I was talking to Greg Kubicki over here from Whitmer High School, and the thing that's changed in the last 10 years is you never used to see freshmen or sophomores play varsity football. That was just something we just didn't do back in the day. But now you see freshmen at any level playing at Springfield or at Central, even at Whitmer High School. Freshmen and sophomores make an impact on the football teams, and that's because of things like this.
And even in the time that you've been around all this too, I can't imagine how this has changed. Your team made an impact this year in the NLL, and talk a little bit about just how development of players has changed over the years.
Yeah, I feel that the biggest difference from when we kind of took over at Springfield was the weight and strength program. And that we start in December, and we have very good participation. Our weight program, I think, is second to none. The kids work hard, they're there, and they see how that pays off to wins. And we tell our kids that they're winning in December, January, and February. And the kids that when they come to places like this to get the extra work in with their skill set, I think it makes them even better. So the more that they can get around the game of football in the weight room and working on their specific skill set, I think it's great for their athleticism and for their football team as a whole.
How early do you have to decide as a player now that you want to play football, that if you're later than that, you're really playing catch-up?
Well, we really respect our multi-sport athletes. I love our basketball players. I love our wrestlers. Do they get a little bit behind? Probably, but they're being very well coached, of course. They're staying up with their, they're definitely in shape from their sport.
But if you're not playing by 7th grade, 8th grade, you're really playing catch-up, aren't you?
Okay, no, I would say that 7th grade is probably where you want to make sure that you're playing your key sport by then. There's a lot of parents that don't believe in youth football, which is fine. Some of their arguments are good. I personally let my boys play 3rd and 4th grade, which is what I did and how I grew up. But by the time that they're in junior high, they should be playing at least football. If they're going to play football, if their plans are to play, at the high school level, they should be playing in junior high.
How much more fun, too, is this that you don't have to go out on Friday night and worry about wins and losses, and you can kind of help out. You can still be around the game, though.
Are you kidding? It's just as nerve-wracking watching, Patrick coach and my grandsons to watch them play.
Is it like having somebody else drive a car?
Yes, that's a good point. Like driving the car and I'm in a doggone back seat. You know what? Patrick and I spend more time talking about philosophy than we do X's and O's. And that's a big key to any athletic program is your approach and how you handle kids and moms and dads and things of that nature. Those are key components to any coaching program, and Pat does an excellent job of that. I've always been impressed, but I do stay away from everybody on Friday nights. I'm nowhere near anybody. I'm not even near my wife.
Well, that's the competitiveness. There's nothing wrong with that, though. And you know, when you started coaching too, you know, obviously you had played for your dad too. You threw the football quite a bit, which really was a departure from the time. Now everybody's doing that, and there's sophisticated passing offenses. And you know, once again, if you're not, you know, in freshman football and you're not throwing it around, there's another learning curve right there.
Yeah, I mean, in our offensive scheme, we're going to throw the ball with a great run game is what I tell our kids all the time. We're a passing team with a great run game, and that's how you have to sell it. You know, the younger kids at our younger levels, they run our offense and defensive schemes, which I think is very important. At our youth levels, try to do it a little bit, but our junior highs and freshmen do our schemes, and they have to get used to the play calling. They have to get used to the terminology. They have to get used to all the different techniques and schemes, and we work with those coaches, you know, a lot. But getting back to it, if you have a quarterback that can throw the ball in the junior high, you're going to throw it a little bit more. I'm not going to ask those kids to throw the ball when they can't do it yet. They're just going to run our scheme and run the football a little bit more and throw it when they need to. So, you know, last year that 8th grade team they had a really good 8th grade team, and they went undefeated. They threw it around a little bit, but they had a great run game as well. The freshman team not as talented, and they ran the ball a little bit more. So, you know, it's really relative, you know, throughout the years and the personnel that you have.
Jack Gucciardo, senior, junior, thank you guys so much. It's a lot of fun.
This is fun.
Let's have fun with this. All right, more coming up here on the Toledo Sports Network, CW13.
Taking care of my mother is so hard. All my life, she gave me the best care she could. Now it's my turn. I have to find my mom the best care.
At Always Best Care, our caregivers are matched to meet your needs. And we even give you access to on-call, round-the-clock physician support along with your in-home care. If you need help with your mom or dad in Toledo, call 419-491-7114 or visit alwaysbestcare-nwOhio.com.
Safety Partners Limited has been providing excellence in safety since 1992. Adding our Oregon, Ohio store in 2013, SPL Outfitters provides face, head, foot, hand, body, and hearing protection with great brands like Wolverine, Red Cap, Dickie, Wrangler Workwear, and many top safety brands. SPL also carries fire-resistant clothing, harnesses, high-vis apparel, boots, and boot care items. SPL is located in the Buffalo Wild Wings Plaza on Navarre Avenue.
Phil Green at Scout.com, and first of all, give me your impressions about this event.
Well, we attend these every weekend. You know, once signing day is over, this is pretty much common in my business. This event would be one of the high-end ones, mainly because of Mike Robinson, the work he does, the quality people he has running this event with him. So this would be one of the A events I attend. The Toledo area is an area that kind of gets neglected in Ohio by scout rivals, so it's important for me to be here to see these Toledo kids. So to me, what I do, this is a high-end event.
Is this the first time you've been at one of these, or no?
No, I attend Mike's event every year. I would never miss it because of the organization, how well it's run, and the quality of kids he gets here.
Yeah, and talk a little bit about that, about being neglected in this area.
It's kind of a dirty little secret in our business. You know, I live in the Canton area. We've got a guy in the Cincinnati area. We seem to do real well in Cincinnati, Columbus, Akron, Canton, Cleveland. This quarter out here of the state, I don't think gets the coverage it deserves and it warrants. So I'm trying to do, you know, you only got so many hours in a day. So we really do try to up our coverage in here because the quality of competition here, the quality of the athlete has gotten better in the last decade in Toledo.
And I've been to Scout.com many, many times, referenced you guys at radio when we're talking about recruiting for colleges and all that. Would you say, though, with high school in this area, it's maybe the level of talent maybe not as consistent as you would get out of Cleveland, Columbus, you know, Cincinnati?
I don't know if I would say that. I would say that maybe the quantity of athletes might not be here, where Cleveland might have 30 Division I athletes, and Toledo might have 5, but the quality is high.
Because it seems like it kind of, it runs in waves a little bit. You know, you'll get couple of years ago was a really good run of high school athletes, and I think maybe last year or so wasn't quite as deep as it was previously.
Yeah, it definitely goes in cycles. But the quality here at the high end, the top 5 kids in Toledo can probably compete with the top 5 in Cleveland. It's not going to be 25 deep though.
Right. Give me a few names of who you're here to see and who you're looking at.
Well, Michael Warren, Toledo Central Catholic is big time. Trayvon Wade is big time. You saw us talking to James Hudson. James Hudson's a sophomore. He's 6'5", 260 pounds. I mean, he's a kid you're going to be watching on Saturdays playing for Michigan or Ohio State or Notre Dame. He would be the top guy here today. The Hudson kid is just amazing. And he's just a baby, sophomore.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, about this area is, maybe there's the big schools with Ohio State and Michigan, and I think Michigan State has dipped in here somewhat now, too. But there are so many MAC-level schools that are vying for that next level of talent.
Yeah, and then you've got Toledo and BG right in the backyard here. 2 great programs. Matt Campbell, Dino Babers are 2 of the top recruiting head coaches in the MAC, so they can do really well in this area and not have to worry about, going to Florida.
How hard is it to evaluate that next level, that MAC level?
No, I don't think it's hard at all. Every kid kind of falls where he's supposed to fall, and you can see it today when you look at the Hudson kid. That's what a Notre Dame kid looks like. That's not what a MAC kid looks like.
They stick out. I mean, the Big Ten kids stick out.
If he's 2 inches shorter, it's not so much talent, it's more measurables.
Right.
So he checks off all the boxes. If he's 6'2½", maybe Ohio State is not so interested.
All right, Phil. Thank you very much. Appreciate it very much. Phil Green, Scout.com, here with us on the Toledo Sports Network in CW13.
All right, this here is the pursuit drill. This drill is set up for the offense versus defense, where the offensive player is trying to outrun the defender, where the defender has to take a great angle. So as you see, you'll see a guy run, the defender, if he takes the right angle, he will get to the offensive guy. And if he's just slow, he's just going to get beat. But it's all about angles in football. You got to make sure you take the right angle. Right there, that was excellent pursuit. Excellent pursuit. This right here is our bubble screen drill. The bubble screen drill is a simulation of a bubble screen where the quarterback will throw the ball to the wide receiver will catch the ball, and then the defensive back and the linebacker will try to collapse on the ball and vice it. So they'll come down and they'll break down on the ball carrier, and the receiver's got to make a move and get into space. So you see it again here. You got another receiver. You got another DB.
All right, we're now joined by Mark Evler of Rivals.com. Give us your overall thoughts on this event.
It's a great event. It's got a lot of Toledo's best talent. For someone that covers the state of Ohio, it's a must. You have to get up here and see the guys at Central Catholic and Whitmer and some of the other powers around the area. And you get to look at some guys that maybe don't play at the big name schools that you may not get out and see in the fall. So it's a very valuable event for what I do.
Now, Rivals, of course, has become one of the premier scouting websites. And when you come out to an event like this, are you looking for specific people? Are you surprised sometimes of kids that you run across? What's kind of your mission when you come out?
Yeah, I mean, normally you get a list in advance. There's a few kids you're coming out to see specifically, but a lot of times you discover kids that maybe you've never heard of before, and so it's a little bit of both. I mean, you get the kid that the big time kid that you're here to see, but then a lot of times that attracts a kid that maybe hasn't got his name out there, and you find him here.
When you get a program such as Central Catholic that's now won multiple state championships, does it? How much does that attract attention of guys like you, and how much does that then, when you look at a team like that, do you look around the rest of the team and, see a few kids that maybe you hadn't seen before?
Oh, sure. That's definitely a big help. Almost every game I go to in the fall, I'm going to see a specific kid, and I end up, sometimes I end up leaving thinking about a different kid that, I didn't intend to see. It's definitely a big thing. When you have a talented guy in your program, it attracts everybody, and it definitely, raises the profile of everybody else on the team.
How much interaction is there between guys at a website like yours and coaches?
High school, college?
Either one.
Either one? There's a lot of interaction. Certainly the high school coaches are very helpful with what we do. They give us a lot of heads up on who to be watching in the fall. Some guys, maybe some up-and-comers they have. They give you a lot of insight into character, off-the-field type of stuff. Those types of things that may cause a red flag if it's not all, the puzzle isn't complete. And then college coaches, obviously, they can't comment publicly on kids, but they're a valuable tool that, as far as maybe giving insight behind the scenes on who they're looking at and who they like in certain areas. So yeah, it's everyone works together a little bit.
I gotta imagine too that your job has become more, I don't know if difficult is the right word, but more comprehensive as it goes along, because you go back 20 years ago, there were secrets. There's not a whole lot of secrets nowadays, are there?
Social media has really changed it.
How much has Twitter changed things?
Oh, it's changed everything. Commitments get reported on Twitter, offers get reported on Twitter by kids. Back in the day, a kid might commit somewhere and maybe no one would know for a few hours. You'd get a phone call eventually from the kid, and that's when you would report it, and people wouldn't find out the information until they went on the website and got it. And now it's out there on Twitter, immediately. It pops right up.
Well, I gotta wonder too how much Twitter has given coaches a little more insight of who the player is. And maybe potential character issues.
Sure. Oh, it's something they watch, and kids will get dropped. Coaches will drop a kid, if they see something on Twitter that they don't like. Every kid I talk to, I say, be mindful of what you're doing on social media, because everyone's watching.
Everybody gets to see it. All right, Mark, I appreciate it very much. Thank you, Mark Ivler of Rivals.com here on the Toledo Sports Network and CW13.
Right now, this is a jet sweep drill. This is a drill where you see a lot of teams do a lot of moving motions and sweeping across. So the jet sweep drill, the quarterback gets to use to put the guy in motion, hand the ball off to the tailback or receiver, and the defenders have to chase him on a pursuit. So right now we're working angles. We're working pursuit angles. We're working these guys getting the correct handoff, centers getting the snaps to the quarterbacks, and also just having great angles. So right now you'll see a lot of guys putting a lot of speed. You'll see guys who got moves, and they got an opportunity to work on that. Listen, we're trying to be smart and trying to be safe. Quarterbacks, y'all are in control right now. All right? Don't throw the ball at the next guy that's running the slant route. Be smart, quarterbacks. Y'all gotta lead y'all teams. Be smart. Go. Use your head.
And a minimum of a 2.3 GPA. Was 2, going up to 2.3. All right? What I mean by core courses, 4 years of English, 3 years of math, starting with Algebra 1 and higher, 2 years of science, 2 years of social studies, 1 year of additional math, science, or English, and 4 years of an academic elective, which is foreign language, government, economics, so on. All right? Now, this is a big key. You must have 10 of those 16 completed before your 7th semester or your senior year. So what that means is, if you flunk a class or two, you can't make them all up your senior year. You're still going to be ineligible. Okay? You guys understand that? All right. And you must have a qualifying SAT or ACT score. All right? That's just to get eligible, guys. All right? So, what are your academic responsibilities? Now, we had a couple of coaches, and the coach that I took this from was Frank Lenty from Mount Carmel High School in Illinois. Guy's been coaching for 31 years, 347 wins, 65 losses. Guy knows what he's talking about. All right? All right, so, guys, your class, you have to be there. Attendance, you got to be there, you got to be there. Okay? All right? Now, academics are the reason you guys are in school, not athletics. All right? Athletics is just a bonus. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Academics is what you're in school for. All right? Then, guys, one of the big things he said is you're more likely to get an academic scholarship than you are an athletic scholarship. All right? Easier to get an academic one than it is an athletic. Okay? All right, grades. And I want you all to listen to me on this one, okay? I circled this one because this one took the biggest for me. It's easier to keep your grades up than to catch up. You guys understand that? It's easier to do the work when it's due, turn it in, and deal with that than it is to slack off for 4 or 5 weeks, and then you got 2 weeks left to go in the quarter, and now you're scrambling and you're trying to get eligible. It doesn't work. All right? I'm telling you right now, it doesn't work. All right? All right, and you got to be eligible. You guys, everybody worked really hard today, so why would you come out here and work so hard on the playing field, practice field, and then not be eligible? All right? Now, the difference between what you guys are and where you want to be is your education. All right? All the skills that all you guys have, that's great, but if you don't got an education, it's not going to matter. And I'm going to tell you, one of the things the guy, John Baxter from Michigan said, first thing they look at, what's his GPA? You send in a tape, and one of the recruiters says, I got a tape for you. Coach says, what's his GPA? If it's below a certain point, won't even look at it. All right? All right, you guys understand that? All right, remember this. Failing to prepare for where you guys are going is preparing to fail. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail, all right? So, guys, all I can say is you guys, and all you guys, the coaches, everybody's going to tell you, it's got to be your schoolwork, all right? Start there. And the reason I brought this up, and I talked to Coach Mike about it, is this new academic thing is starting basically this year, next year. So it affects every one of you guys here that wants to go play D1, D2, whatever, college ball, okay? All right? Any questions? All right.
For all skilled guys, all right, you got 20 minutes of O-line, D-line skill work, okay, and then we're going to get into 30 minutes of one-on-ones right following after that, okay?
Let's go.
So, all right. Do it. So we've been working, and we've been competing all the way up until this point, all right, till when we get to the fourth quarter, okay? You guys work all summer, all right, and the better part of your winter to get to the fourth quarter, okay? You're tired, you're tattered. You've been running around, you've been competing, you've been thinking, all right? Now it's time to dig deep, all right? Give me the best you got for this last hour, because this will transcend you into the fall. And your team will be great, and we will be all something. We might even be all everything. We keep getting all this effort out, all right? But we're gonna be all something if we keep this up, okay?
Sir.
Let's work, and work until we're done, okay? Work on 3. 1, 2, 3. Work!
Right now we have the linemen. They are doing off-the-ball drills. They're working on their get-off. They're working on their stance. They're working about being comfortable where they're at. So we're teaching technique, some basic skills, so these guys can build upon the solid foundation. So
these guys now look like they're working some defensive drills. Now look like they're going to get in some defensive and offensive drills. So right now they're just working fundamentals. Fundamentals is key. The more fundamentals that these guys work, the better that they'll be when it comes to the season, when their coach needs to teach them techniques and different things. They already have those values and that foundation that they can grow off of. So any coach that works with their kids, they know that these kids are solid with a solid foundation. All the guys over here that's teaching them, actually, the one kid, Nathan Childress, he participated in this combine for the past 2 years, and his first year participating, he ended up getting an offer. And we credit that to Coach Constant, who also played at UT and was a senior captain when they beat Michigan in the Big House. So Coach Constant does a great job teaching these guys some fundamentals, and that's a credit to University of Toledo for bringing that man in and teaching him how to do the things he did. One clap for Coach. One clap for my throat.
I'm about to say, what was that?
Hey, I was having too much fun, so. I saw a lot of y'all working today. There's some things we're gonna do today. We're gonna award some people, some of the top honors. We were gonna print it out today, but we ended up running out of ink because we was printing out a lot of other stuff so we can get it to these scouts and people. So ran out a little ink, but you'll still be able to get your award. We'll make sure you get it. So, how y'all feel? Good. Y'all worked hard today? I know y'all did. We saw a lot of work going on. So we just kind of had a little meeting over here with the coaches, trying to decide who was the offensive MVP, who was the defensive MVP, the lineman MVP. A lot of names coming up. Y'all might have heard us over here. We was chattering for a while trying to figure it out while y'all was getting that great information about how you can play at the next level. And no matter if you get an award or not, that does not mean you can play Division I football, Division II football, Division III football, continue to play football in high school if you don't take care of the academics part. So I hope y'all was paying attention to that because that's a great piece of information. Thank you. Want to just kind of bring up one of our former guys who won MVP, won the Lineman MVP award. Eventually, after coming to this camp in 2013, he got his start. He got on the map, and he actually went on, and we went to Nike Combine up in Chicago. Ended up getting his first offer, because he came out here and showed out. All right, Nate Childress, come on up here real quick. Give a clap for Nate. Nate's going to play ball at UT this year. He played at Rossford. He always hold it down for Rossford. Y'all ever see him, he always represented. He's the first player in 10 years to get an offer from there. That comes from hard work, all right, dedication, determination. All right, we're going to have Nate introduce the person who's going to take the crown this year for the Lineman MVP.
All right. Ian Meacham.
There's nothing in there. There's nothing in there. We haven't printed it out yet. All right, take a picture. Take a picture. Who put the picture at? Right here. Right here. There you go. Take a picture with it. All right. Oh yeah, come on. Hop in here. Come on, Coach. What you with? All right. I'm gonna get that back to you though when we put something in there. Next one, we're gonna go to offensive MVP. Offensive MVP, hard decision. A lot of y'all names came up. A lot of names came up.
Some really great work out there today, guys.
Saw some great work. We're gonna go ahead and let Coach John announce the offensive MVP.
All right. It's hard, man, because a lot of guys really start out.
Speak up, Coach.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
No. It's hard because a lot of guys start out today, but today we gave the offensive award to Mike Warren.
Take picture, Dave.
You got a smile, Mike.
Picture over there with Nicole. All right, here we go.
Get your likes up.
Get your likes up.
Get your likes up. Get your likes up.
I got 100 likes on my selfie.
All right, awesome. We can put them in there for you.
Over my house, we live by each other. Put it in the mailbox.
And picked you up several times. Mike was my running back last year. Awesome kid. Awesome kid. Now, for the favorite one, the defensive MVP. You don't win.
Yeah.
Hey, who knows the saying about defense?
Defense wins games.
Wins
championships.
Wins changes. What?
And you won a championship? He played offense, y'all. That's why he said that. He win games on offense.
He's just here to sell tickets.
All right, Coach Constant, we'll go ahead.
This person, they really outperformed themselves. A lot of people today. It was pretty easy, to select this person because they just stood out so great. And like you said, defense wins championships. So this person is soon to be all something, if not all everything, and should have a championship brought to his team in the fall. Number 136.
Omar Johnson.
Triple OG.
Take a picture right here. Get the likes up.
Hey, fellas, just because only 3 awards went out,
There's 2 more coming. But you good.
those 3, that don't mean that y'all didn't perform. Because everybody performed very well. You all came out, you all did 100%, and I like it.
Yeah, here you go.
Don't let this be the only day that you practice your craft, though. All right? Keep working, everybody.
All right, now on to the combine stuff. Like I said, man, y'all got to keep working, keep working. We got a camp very similar to this style. This is why I see a lot of guys knew what the drills were and what was going on, because we do this every Saturday night from 7 to 9 at the Pacesetters Indoor Facility. The website's on your shirt. Come out. We usually have about 40-something guys out there coming from Fremont, Findlay, all over the place. It's a lot of good competition. So if you don't know nothing about it, you need to get out there. It's a great place for you to work and get better, work on your craft. Going along with it, now we're going to talk about the top shuttle. Top shuttle time goes to Mr. Grant Wynn. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Well, that. $422. I forgot the other one. All right, 40. Top 40 time. Tiff, can you run over here real quick? I just need to see the time.
Sprint. That's not a sprint.
Hey, this is my fiance. Give a shout out to all the staff, man. They guys out here working hard as heck. I already did that. Yeah, without these ladies, she was up all night, taking care of everything. All right. So, 40 man, top 40 goes to, can I get a drum roll? Darian Greer.
He ran a 5.62.
I don't know that's Darian. That might have been Dion. I don't even know. What was the two?
Mike, what was the time?
The 4.4. 4.4 flat, and his brother ran the 4.44 with the second flat. You 0.4 slower than your brother.
Who was born first? That's why I use the slowest. See what I'm saying? It's always the next one that's better.
Salty. Hey, give everybody who won a round of applause.
All right, back we are to wrap up here on the Toledo Sports Network, CW13. Pulled in Nate Childress from Roxford, who's going to the University of Toledo, and also pulled in James Hudson, who is a sophomore at Central Cal. Sophomore, right? Towering over me, too. First of all, Nate, just a quick overview on that.
It's great for these little kids and people that are coming from all the way around. I mean, Coach Rob does a nice job getting everybody around here, working out, getting them ready for the future and the future combines, the bigger combines where more people are going to be at and you're going to show up.
And how much does it help to realize that there's a lot of other good athletes? I mean, it's got to make you work hard.
Well, yeah, I mean, when I was doing my combines, it seeing somebody beat my time, I just want to go back up and get a better time so I can make myself look better and make everybody compete with me and compete with everybody.
All right, James Hudson played defensive end, some right tackle for Central Catholic. You haven't gotten your state championship ring yet, right?
We haven't won school.
How does something like this happen?
It helps a lot. It helps with your agility, get you faster. People they teach you how to get better with your hands.
Because I watched how this guy moves. This guy can, I don't care if he's 6'5", 260, he can run speed rusher on the defensive end, right? Have you started to narrow down college choices yet? Or you got plenty of time?
Keep him out.
You got plenty of time. He is going to be absolutely fantastic.
He's going to go big. I've watched him a couple of times. He's a big boy.
Well, Scout.com, Rivals.com, you were the first one they mentioned. So you're going to get tons of attention. You're going to get to go wherever you want as long as you keep doing what you're doing. Guys, appreciate it very much. Thank you. All right. Nate Childress, James Hudson, and we'll wrap things up here. We got some of the awards here. The top 40 was a 4.40 40 by Darian Greer from Central Catholic. His brother Dion ran a 4.44. The defensive MVP was Omar Johnson from Scott. The lineman was Ian Meacham from Central Catholic, and I know the offensive MVP was Michael Warren as well too. So that's some that got the awards. And the shuttle award actually went to Grant Went from Clay. So how about that? That's some of the awards from today. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for being with us here. We'll see you next time on the Toledo Sports Network and CW13.